Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of General Geekery. I am Brian, and with me, as always, is JD.
Hello.
And today we decided we were going to do two separate episodes, but because we thought we'd have just so much to talk about from reveals from the New York Comic Con that we would need a second episode. Uh, because we mentioned most of the stuff on the unboxing of the Operation Monster Force figures, and as it turns out, they made zero more announcements.
Yeah,
So,
because we did that episode on Friday
yeah.
after they did the panel, and we thought over the weekend maybe they'll reveal more. But no, all the rest of the weekend for New York Comic Con seemed to be in my news feed. It was all basically movie stuff, television stuff, book stuff, and it was like the toy companies they all had Thursday and Friday to do their stuff, and then they said, all right, the rest of this is for so.
So
Uh,
we
we
still
can't. There's a few things we'll mention, but yeah, we don't need to do a whole episode.
Yeah, so we decided, and today was the day that we had set for the deadline for our custom challenge based off of G.I. Joe Hearts and Minds graphic novel, where it's revealed that Major Bludd is a family man, and we wanted to make customs of his children based off of that storyline. Um, we had some interest from other participants, but I mean, let's face it, half a dozen people watched this episode, and only a couple of those are customizers, and we didn't get any buy-in. So I'm not really
I mean,
surprised.
I know there were a couple people that were going to participate, but for one reason or another, their participation fell through, and that's okay.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, this is the first time we're doing something like this. I'm hoping that we'll get some buy-in with fan initiated challenges. So, if you have ideas that you would like to see us do in customizing challenges, that's something that we would like to explore. And I'm sure we're going to do this again. Something's going to come up and we're going to say, "Hey, we should make customs of those." And then we're going to say, "You know what? We should make another customizing challenge."
I
And
agree.
because it's one of the things that we always do when JD and I get together in person, and just with work and schedules, those really aren't, it doesn't happen as frequently as we would like. But
No, because he lives halfway across the country, and unfortunately, we can't teleport. So
yeah, but the customizing challenges are still fun. And just due to the fact that neither one of us know what the other was working on, because we I'm always sending JD pictures of my work in progress on every custom that I make. It's like, hey, this is what I got. What do you think? Uh, he always gets a picture of it before I post it, usually in between when I finish the project and before I seal it and spray seal it. Excuse me, I got a cold, so not feeling too good. Before I spray seal it and then take pictures of him and post it. So
and
he's
I make some customs. I don't post them as often as I used to. I find the photography step to be time consuming and annoying. So
I'm a photographer um, by trade, and I find the photography time consuming and annoying. By the time I am at that stage on any particular custom, I am so done with that fucking custom that I don't want to see it again until it's time to card it.
yeah,
So
you're not the guy who's going back and picking away and improving customs. No, once you're done, you're done. Um,
once once they are done, they go on a card, they go on a wall, and I don't touch them again unless I recard them because I have recarded my James Bond customs. Um, or add a backing like a back of a card, which I did with all of my movie customs recently. So this wall behind me used to be all Star Wars customs. Now they're all movie customs and movie or TV, and they all have a card back on the back. My Star Wars customs aren't currently on the wall. They're in this big blue tub. Oh, I can't see it. The big blue tub behind me, because I'm going to do backs of cards for those customs sometime.
As long as you're doing movie customs, you should consider Xanadu as a as inspiration.
Okay, I'll keep
Yeah.
that. Uh, One of my coworkers challenged me to do Nicolas Cage from Bringing Out the Dead, which is a movie about
Ooh,
burnt out paramedics. So
yeah, that's a good one.
it is. So I have the Nicolas Cage customs on or heads on the way, and then the figures built. I need to do just a tiny bit of sculpting. I'm making two. I'm making one for him and one for me.
Oh, good thing you said the heads are on the way because I was gonna say it looks like he's missing. So it looks nothing like Nicolas Cage.
Right?
Um,
So I'm gonna I've done my research. I've got the card backs, the graphic art for the card backs done. I haven't printed them because if I print my card backs, I tend to not finish those customs. So it's I'm not superstitious, just saying that a lot of times if I make a card back before I finish the custom, that custom does not get done. And I would like to do this one by the end of the year so I can give it to my buddy as a Christmas present. So
I I like that custom idea. That's a good movie and that's a good challenge. I like it.
it is. And he's the one paramedic that has been a paramedic longer than me. So
Wow, that's saying something.
yeah, he's been doing it about 40 years, which is
Uh,
about 15 years longer than me. When we were on an ambulance together, I did the math, and we have 70 years of experience between the two of us.
wow. I
So
was gonna say because I think Bringing Out the Dead was released. The movie was released just about the time you were becoming a paramedic. So
yeah, I think
if I'm
that's
not mistaken, I think it's year 2000, 2001,
that's a
somewhere around there it came out.
that's a good question. I looked and I forgot. So bringing out the dead. I will now. I gotta look.
I think it's 2000. Maybe it's 99.
It came out in 99. So
Okay.
I was in paramedic school when it came out
So,
because that's
yeah,
where I went to paramedic school is 1999.
I
So
was working at Blockbuster that year. That's why I remember that movie being released.
that's
Um,
fair.
so uh
All
that
right. So
it,
what do you want to do first? Do you want to go over toy announcements or do you want to do the
let's do the customs first.
customs?
I want to show them off and then we can talk toys and then we can talk about an unfortunate death in the geek community
Uh,
or the geek or pop culture
pop-
world, I guess.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. All right. Um, where did I? Okay.
you want to start out with the son or the daughter?
I want to start out with the daughter because she is the one that made this idea work for me.
Ah, okay.
Because I will go first.
All
Um,
right. Yeah, we'll take turns.
just since it was well, so here's the thing. JD sent me home with about 5 pounds of fodder. Um,
Could have taken more.
yeah, and I should have. And he has since sent me another bag of stuff. Um, but that was the creative spark I needed this year. I am up to 76 customs for the year, which is a new record for me.
I've got about 76 ideas for customs, and I've made customs of like eight of them. So,
Yeah. So one of the customs that I made was based off of a figure that JD sent home with me, which was Tombstone, not Tombstone, Switchblade, right?
stiletto.
Stiletto,
Close enough.
right? So JD also sent me home with a copy of G.I. Joe Hearts and Minds, which I read on the plane back and was just absolutely blown away. Some of the stories
I
were
knew
not,
you would be. I remember I gave it to you, and I'm like, "Have you read this?" You're like, "No," and I'm like, "Well, you fucking should read it." So
I did. I read it on the plane ride home and had it done before we landed in Colorado Springs. And uh, like a couple weeks later, I'm like, I really want to make customs of what his daughter and his son would grow up to be. Because in that storyline, it's revealed that Blood is a family man. He comes from a long line of like failures that caved in to social pressures and decided that he was not going to be like any of his forebears and became a mercenary and provided very well for his family, including his father, who was like a failed rancher, I believe. Um, so I came this the first custom I did was his daughter. She comes with a removable helmet. She has a scar across her left eye, not unlike her father. So the premise is that the apple did not fall very far from the tree on this because she is a very, very bad person. So I did a file card, which I would very much, double-sided card, which I would very much like to show you right now. Um, God damn it. But I have misplaced them. The file cards are done. I have them printed. I have them made. But I've had these customs done for several months, and I don't actually know where the file cards are, where the card backs are right now. So I have the graphic art pulled up on my computer. I'm gonna read the file card real quick. Um, the file name is Samantha Blood. Uh, the kids were not given names in the storyline, so I just came up with my own. She goes by Sam for short. Her primary military specialty is mercenary. Um, I used the ones that were on the original Major Bludd file card. So weapons and tactics are her secondary specialty. And it's the file card says the apple didn't fall far from the tree. The eldest child of Sebastian Blood followed closely in her father's footsteps. She was raised to understand that she must make herself indispensable and self-sufficient as well as deadly. She is quite possibly even more ruthless than her father and will work for anyone as long as the price is right. The quote is wanted by every major international law enforcement agency for crimes too numerous to list and too savage to mention. There couldn't be a more proud father.
jeez.
So that, and normally JD writes my file cards for me because I absolutely hate doing that. I like writing, but I hate writing file cards. So I used uh, the stiletto figure, which is a helix buck. I swapped out the forearms, gave her, I think it's the same head that stiletto uses. Uh,
Yeah, it is.
gave her a Hot Toys helmet and weapon, and the red scarf is also Hot Toys, I believe. And then did the color scheme very similar to the V1 figure of Major Bludd. So it's tans and grays with some black accents. So that is my Samantha or Sam Blood custom. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out.
And my version of his daughter, both of my figures use some visual cues from various Major Bludd figures that have been released over the years, but uh, I wrote I came up with their names a few months ago, and until we started this, I didn't realize that I'd completely forgotten what those names are. So
We were
when I
both
go back in the house, I'm actually going to look and I'm going to see if I can figure it out. But here is his daughter. I did them in classifieds. I used Marvel Legends bases in classified style.
Oh,
Her
nice.
color scheme is almost completely based on the uh, DTC 2005 Major Bludd,
One of my favorite.
um, including the scarf around her neck. That was coincidental. I didn't realize that Brian was doing a scarf around the neck too, but uh, except I gave her the arm spike from the
Oh,
1994
yeah.
Major Bludd version 3. Um, and it was the bottom of a I think it was the bottom of I think it was a one of those Dungeons and Dragons 6-inch figures that Hasbro made. I
Yeah.
chopped the bottom of the staff off, and
Ah,
yeah, because I like the arm spike, and I just like the idea that she would do that as a tribute to dear old dad. Um,
yeah,
the
definitely.
color pop here on the holster was inspired by the Fun School, the first Fun School Major Bludd. The first Fun School Major Bludd used the version 1 body, but they painted it in bright yellow and bright blue.
Yes.
And so I needed the pop of color. Um, and the boots on both figures are silver because I was watching a music video with ABBA and they were wearing silver boots because of the 70s. And I was like, you know what? I don't know why, but I feel the need to do that with my customs. So she uses a rogue head, and I was almost going to do facial tattoos on her cheeks, but after doing some of the fine detail work, I was like, you know what? I don't think I can pull off the facial tattoos without it looking muddy. But yeah, so I
What
used
body did you use?
um there was a black cat figure released in the Spider-Man line.
That's what I thought.
Um
The Gamerverse Black Cat. I
that's
had
it.
when I saw that figure, I had to get it. I absolutely love that sculpt. It is a fantastic figure.
Yeah, I for both of these customs, I went to Target. I mean, I was looking for base bodies. They didn't have any Joes, but they had Marvel Legends, and they had two Spider-Man figures that because there was a whole line of Game Reverse Spider-Man figures that had come out one wave. There was like
Yeah,
6 or 7 figures, and they had the whole wave there. So I got the Black Cat to use for her, and
that's
I got there was a Spider-Man that I used for his son. So,
that's a
but yeah, this is a tribute to various versions of Major Bludd, but I really love that 2005 version of him.
I
So
do. I have mine. I think mine might still be on the card, or I might have opened it during the great opening of last year. I don't remember, but I have the DTC version, and I don't have a V1 figure. That's definitely one of the glaring missing figures from my collection. But I have a couple of different versions of Major Blood, but none of I the DTC. I have the DTC one. I'm sure. I'm just sure of it. But yeah, I absolutely love the your choice of figure on that. I think that is probably one of the best
thank you.
sculpted figures bucks that I've seen in a long time.
The pistol that goes in here, um, it fell out and it disappeared into a pocket of space time, and I'm hoping it'll show up again sometime.
It must
Um,
be with my cards.
Possibly,
Yeah.
possibly. But yeah, I like how this one came out. This head was so uncharacteristic of Rogue. Not that she doesn't ever get mad, but it wasn't a great Rogue head sculpt. But I'm like, you know what? That would look that would look perfect for a pissed off daughter of a
Yeah, I never would have
full
pegged that.
blooded mercenary.
Never would have pegged that as a rogue head. So yeah, that's a
Exactly.
definitely like your choice of parts. That's
Thank you.
fantastic because it's you cannot tell what those parts were. And I think that is one of the hallmarks of a fantastic custom is when you're looking at it and you're like, what parts I can't what parts are those? I have no
Yeah.
idea.
So
Perfect. All right. Let me pull out my son. So I used for my custom, I used one of the very first hot Joy Toy figures. I mean, it's like most people don't know that these figures even existed because they flew under the radar. Um,
Oh, it took Joy Toy a little. You mean it took him a little while to get noticed?
yeah.
So nice.
So there was a line of about four or five different figures that were almost kind of cybernetic in origin. You had to glue all of their accessories onto their belts and put them together that way. So I mean, they were kind of like model kits initially, um, and they were fairly fragile too. So I used one of those figures because I had it sitting around.
Oh, damn, he's pissed off looking. I like it.
Yeah.
Um,
So I gave
damn,
him.
he is ripped too.
He is. So I used I gave him the cybernetic arm because that's always kind of a point of contention on the like V1 figures. I think the classified figure kind of settled that debate to some
Yeah,
extent on whether or not his right arm is armored or if it's cybernetic. I am a big fan of the fact that it's cybernetic.
me
So
too.
I went with just like a generalized camo pattern, regular body armor. See his foot fall off.
Is that the figure you said? Because there was a figure that there was a in the summertime. There was a Joy Toy figure you said was busted, and you were trying to salvage it. Is that what you used it for?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that wasn't broken on this was the torso, the neck, and one arm. I had to
Jeez.
I had to repair everything else, and the foot is still broken, but it probably will stay broken because he's going to get carded and it won't matter. So, um, the file card for him, I named him Miles Blood. Um, Specialty is mercenary. Secondary specialty is weapons and tactics, like his dad. Birthplace is Sydney, Australia. Um, Subject is the youngest child of mercenary Sebastian Blood. Unlike his father, Miles Blood obtained his military training through the ranks of Cobra. Subject is a graduate of the Alley Viper and Range Viper programs and a fully qualified EEL. In
Ooh.
an attempt to be more like his father, he voluntarily underwent cybernetic limb replacement. Uh, every bit, every bit the deadly killer that his father and sister are, he lives in their shadow, scrambling for approval and pride of his father that his sister so easily earned.
Oh, how rude.
Yeah.
Major Blood, you can't pick favorites with your kids, damn it.
So that's
Um,
exactly what I went with was like the spurned son that's always trying to live up to his father's expectations and doesn't do it, even though he's probably one of the best at what he does. It's never good enough for his father because I mean that was kind of the theme in the story is like the failure of his his um his predecessors, his relatives, his ancestors. So he kind of had a bias towards his son, and Major Blood doesn't seem like he'd be the type that would hide that very well. So the character I went with was trying to elaborate on that. And I think we're frozen, so I'm going to pause it.
all right. All right, good.
Yeah, so JD froze there for a minute. I was just saying that pretty much went off the premise in the story about how Major Blood was disappointed in his ancestors' failures, and then kind of projected that onto his son, even though his son did everything to like get out of that. Um, Being a graduate of three of the top Cobra programs that they have to offer and still not living up to his father's expectations. Um, just kind of the spurned son, uh, which makes him just even that much more violent.
I was going to say how
Uh-oh. Uh,
Shakespearean. Um,
we're losing you there. Yeah, hang on. Pause it.
all right. And the version of the Sun that I did, in the story, they have similar hair colors. It's not really mentioned what the birth order or the age is or the status of their twins or not. But I was like, they look like maybe they could be the twins that aren't identical. I don't mean just the gent, but I figure maybe they got mom's hair color, but probably everything else they got from dad, including the mean streaks and the inability to play nice with others. But he too is a tribute to previous versions of Major Bludd. In this case, I used the Sunbow design as his basis.
Oh, all right.
So he's got the armor, the legs, the yellow leg straps, and the silver grenades. That's just a nod at the supersonic Major Bludd. Um,
There you go.
and then the backpack I gave him, it's sort of like it's not a jetpack, but it's like a activate if you're in a bad situation type escape thing.
What's the head sculpt?
It's a Punisher head sculpt from
Oh,
a
wow.
Toy Biz Marvel Legends figure.
All right.
Uh, 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 it's I bought the figure and because I had a different head picked out for him,
Yeah.
and that head disappeared
I'm
altogether one day, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" So I had to get another figure, and I wanted one that was not immediately recognizable. So I found this Punisher figure. I sculpted the chin hair. I gave him the blonde hair, and I was like, and I repainted the face. I'm like, it really doesn't look anything like Punisher now.
Oh,
And then last week, I found the lost head for him, but it turns out I like this head choice a lot better, anyways. So
yeah, I do too, actually.
he's got the sleeve holster off the Alley Viper. Um, he's got a communications thing around his wrist, just like she does.
Ah,
The knee pads are cut off of some fodder that I had sitting around the and but I like the idea that the boots are they're more like armored sneakers, like steel-toed sneakers.
okay.
So, um, but yeah, he's yeah he's not as outwardly dangerous as his sister, but he is more sadistic. Um, so
Okay.
so once he gets some momentum in his operations or his well, especially if there's prisoners involved, he's a nasty piece of work. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, I think
Yeah, they
I'm
came out.
pretty proud of both of these customs.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, they were almost done, but over the weekend, I wound up repainting about 90% of the daughter and about 60% of the son, just because they were okay before, but not quite where I wanted them to. So I was like, you know what? I, I just basically repainted everything but the boots and the heads on both. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think
So,
this came out fantastic. And I absolutely enjoyed doing this customizing challenge.
me too.
It's fun to have a project that the other doesn't know is working on. Because like I said, we share our I don't always post works in progress pictures on my Facebook page, but I always send them to JD. So I mean JD always knows what I'm working on. Well before it gets posted. And same for like JD says he doesn't post his stuff, but he always sends me pictures of it. So it's cool to
Yeah,
that.
because I like to get people's thoughts on it, but a lot of my customs, they're not really extensive enough to worry about posting them. I'm not. There was a time when I used to post everything. I customized a lot more often than I do now, but now I do it when the artistic inspiration really hits me, or when I get challenged to it. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with both customs. Tomorrow, I'll have to get photos of them with the classified Major Bludd. Um, I am considering getting that new Major Bludd figure, even though it's just a repaint of the first classified version. But I'm thinking about making an
It's not.
aged Major Bludd.
It's not.
No, I take that back. You're right. It's not. The arm is different, the legs are different, but the design is almost the same.
It is.
They gave it some different color pops, but I think I might get it, and I think I might age the head, and so I have an old man blood.
It's
Um,
funny you should say that because I was thinking about doing the same thing because I did a Old Man Logan custom years and years ago, which didn't really turn out how I wanted it to. And then I did an Old Man Dutch custom based off of
oh, I remember that custom. That was good stuff.
yeah, I did it for my Predator box set. It was based off of artwork from a video game that they made that character. So I made the figure from the character. Um, so I've done like Old Man so and so customs before, so I like the concept for sure.
So you think you're gonna make Major Bludd as a old guy?
I haven't decided yet.
It was something I was considering the other day because I still like the Cobra Island Major Bludd as my default. Um, the swapped arms and legs on the new one, they're okay, but overall, I like the more weathered look of the Cobra Island version. So I think the new one, I think I might just get him age the head up so he looks like he's much older and much crankier. But I think I might just give him a full repaint. But
Well, that might have to be our next customizing challenge then is the
Old Man Blood
Man
as a
Blood.
sequel to this,
Yeah,
I like it.
let's do it.
I
Uh,
think we should do it.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Because I did a Major Blood custom of my own a number of years because Major Blood is my favorite individual Cobra character, if that makes sense. So like
it
unique.
does.
I had written some fan fiction. I mean, like who hasn't, right? Um,
Yeah, of course.
a number of years ago that actually made Major Blood like the bad guy for Cobra. Cobra Commander was just like a figurehead, so I did him like the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, where he was just a buffoon that was there to stop bullets. Um, and then he was building Cobra up, and like James Bond was like a villain. It was a major crossover kind of thing, and I was gonna make figures for it.
I remember Tony Stark was in there too.
Yeah,
But of course, Tony Stark was in there. It would be weird if he wasn't.
yeah, and it never went anywhere. I never finished writing the story. I never made customs for it, but I did do a custom Major Blood figure a number of years ago, and I was really happy with how it came out, and I just didn't think I could ever top that, and so I don't usually, unless I think I can do something better, I don't go back. And
Well, there was a Star Brigade Major Blood you were working on, but you got about halfway through there. You're like, all right, I've got a creative block. And I tried to help. And we went back and forth for a couple days. You're like, you know what? Fuck this. This is not coming together. And then it was like, well, send it to me. Maybe I'll finish it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to finish it either. So,
I ended up using that build for my Muton.
well, you know what? That was a worthy use of it.
Yeah. So because the buck was huge. I mean, I took a one of the drones from Iron Man 2 and extended the torso with some parts and gave it bigger legs. And so I mean it was a massive figure. I mean it's probably about 5 inches tall. I mean it's big compared to the regular 1/18 scale.
Yeah,
So
because you were going like Star Brigade armor tech with him.
yeah, absolutely. And that's what I really
Um,
wanted to do was do a Star Brigade Major Blood because I mean there wasn't one. And I think that is kind of a weird oversight just based off the fact that he's got a cybernetic arm and the unreleased Dr. Mindbender figure looked amazing. Um,
yeah, they were going to send Mindbender into space. They did send Destro into space.
I like the
Cobra Commander had a Star Brigade figure, but
in the
yeah, Major
back.
Blood didn't. None of the other named Cobras did, but Blood should have, because Blood got a figure in '94, and so he was out there. But yeah, I think because two of the Star Brigade figures, one of them was Destro, had the arm replaced with a cannon.
Yes.
That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
That's where Major Bludd should have come in, for God's sake.
Yep.
But
So it just never materialized, and I didn't think I could make a better Major Blood custom than what I did. I mean, it was very intensive custom because I made a lot of like interchangeable parts. Hang on a sec here. I gotta pause it a second.
yeah,
All right, sorry about that. All right. So there you go. That's our uh Children of Blood custom challenge.
hang on, I am just looking for names.
Ah, yeah, you were gonna see if you could remember the names of your customs.
Um,
Like I said, neither one of us we had planned this particular episode, which we don't normally do. We normally just hey, do you want a podcast today? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So I mean we never plan ahead. And that has always worked out very well for us. The only time we plan ahead is when we schedule a guest, but I mean that's the extent of our planning. We don't discuss what we're going to talk about. Um, we just schedule a day that works for all three people, and that's the extent of our planning. We talk maybe a minute or two before we start recording about what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about, or if there's anything specific that like, hey, I really want to talk about this particular thing sometime today. That's about it. So I mean, we had this episode planned for a couple weeks, and that didn't work out real well. So I find it amusing that our lack of planning seems to be our best asset.
I found it. Uh, the the son's name is Bodie,
Ah,
as in Point Break,
yeah.
and the daughter's name is Myrna with a Y.
Okay.
So Myrna and Bodie Blood. Um, you know, when I was standing outside, and I was out there because of the lighting, it's better for showing off figures. While
Yes.
I was out there, I'm like, I feel like their names are on the tip of my tongue, but I can't. No, I was wrong. I was nowhere fucking in the neighborhood of either of those names. So good thing my phone has a search feature.
Right. So
Otherwise, I would have never remembered.
we were going to talk about the announcements that were made at New York Comic Con. One of the things that I was going to touch on that they didn't show before we did our episodes, they did show digital renders of the two new mask vehicles that the loyal subjects are going to make in the wave two, which was the Gator, which is the Jeep that turns into the boat, and the Piranha, which is the motorcycle that has the sidecar that turns into the sub, and the Hurricane, which is the 57 Chevy that turns into a tank.
I saw a picture of that one today with the flames paint job, and my son really likes the 56 and 57 Chevy cars. I don't. He knows about these things. I don't know how. I don't know anything about cars, but I have a feeling it's because there's a monster truck called Avenger that was based on a 57 Chevy of some sort. But if he should happen to see that masked vehicle, he's gonna ask for it. So
It's a pretty cool one. I didn't
it
have.
is cool. The paint job is great. There's one of those that I have zero memory from when I was a kid. I don't know if it looked like that, but I'm
It,
glad it looks like that now. It's really
it,
cool.
yeah, it looks exactly like the original toy. They went with the original color scheme. The chassis pops up and like two extra wheels deploy, so it's a six wheel thing. So it's like an
Oh,
APC kind of thing.
all
It
right. That's pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. I think Blake would like it. Would definitely dig it. So yeah, I'm gonna when he sees that, he's probably gonna have a hard time saying no to that. I
Yeah,
am
basically.
the pre-orders for those have not gone up yet. Um, but when they do, I'm I'm all in on this line. I know a lot of people think it's way late. It's very expensive. Yeah, you can get the vintage ones for probably about the same price. I don't want to chase down vintage stuff and have to piece stuff together and replace decals, and so I'm just
Well, and it's old plastic. What if it breaks?
yeah. So I'm just getting the new ones. I had had several of the vehicles when I was a kid. This is pure nostalgia for me. So it's I've always wanted all of these figures, all of these vehicles. Um, and I'm at a place where I can do that reasonably, so I'm going to. So, uh, one of the announcements that we didn't touch on was the Transformer stuff. There's a whole bunch of Transformer stuff that I'm not even trying to get into. Um, the highlight,
I will mention one of my big wishes for Transformers. I'm not a complete, there's very few Transformers I buy. I pick and choose. I tend to, except in the case of a couple of big characters, like I think Prime and Megatron, I think I have two different versions of each. But for the most part, most characters I like to only have one. But there's certain characters that I really love, and they've done a good job of updating most of the vintage stuff in the new stuff. But the last of the Autobot Target Masters, Sure Shot,
yeah.
was has he's finally Sure Shot is finally getting an update next year, and that is the first version of him since 1987.
And on
Um,
that note, they have been updating a lot of the G1 figures. I've seen a couple of them in at Walmart, and they look really nice. And I said,
yeah, with the extra articulation and
yeah,
shit. Yeah, I saw that Outback is getting that.
Outback is the one I've seen in the stores. I said, you know what? If they did the, and I couldn't remember the name of the Transformer, but it was my very first Transformer, uh, uh, at all. I mean, even like GoBot or Transformer. I'm like, if they did that one, I would get that one. It turns out that Transformer's name is Windcharger, and they are doing an updated
In
Windcharger.
the studio series.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just looking at a picture of him. The color scheme is fucking amazing.
Yes, it went up for pre-order yesterday, so or thereabouts. So I did pre-order the wind charger. The other big thing, obviously for me, is they are slowly, it's not coming out all at once, which I kind of appreciate because when stuff comes all out at one time, it's a financial.
Ad for the bank account.
Yeah, and then I gotta explain to the wife why I spent too much money this month, and I don't like doing that because she glares at me, and nobody likes to be glared at. And so, um,
Not in the tone of voice she glares at you in. I've gotten that glare.
yeah,
Woof.
yeah.
Um,
Clearly they are doing a Combaticon set. Vortex is already out. It came in my big pile of loot. I didn't open them. I'm gonna wait till they're all out and then open them all at once, probably on the show. Um,
Combaticons, that's Bruticus, right?
Yep, sure is. Which is my favorite Gestalt of all time. I have several different versions of. I don't have the original G1, but I have like the San Diego Comic-Con one, uh, the like Cybertronian one, that came from San Diego Comic-Con because Grogan got that for me. Um,
I have never owned a combiner transformer in my life. I have a couple of individual figures from the Combiner Wars universe line a few years ago, but I've never actually owned a combiner and put it together. So
yeah, so
I live vicariously through you for things like that.
and it's been really hard for me because they had the Devastator come out throughout this year. Um, and the aerial bots, but the center. So the historically the all the Gestalts except Devastator, they have a larger transformer for the for the center body. Um, those are being priced at $90.
Oh yeah, they're I think they're commander class.
And it's just and so the one for the Devastator is actually two figures, and that one's $90 too. And it's just like as much as I love Superion and Devastator, I'm like I can't afford to support.
Yeah, because I think the commander class, yeah, I think they're or I think they're 80, and then the two packs are basically two Voyager class figures. So they're 80 or 90. And then the deluxe figures are 25 or 30 now.
Yeah,
So
25. So it's I did the math on how much it was going to cost to get the Devastator and the Superion. I'm like, I can't. I'm not that vested in Transformers anymore. Combaticons is if they make is ha they'll make a Combaticon and I'll get it. With the exception of like some third party places, because there's a really nice third party one that's being made right now, and the individual figures are several $100s a piece.
wow,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
it is. Clearly, it's due to the fact that it's low production run and it looks like extremely high quality.
Well, and third party stuff, they can price those however they feel like it.
It's an Asian exclusive, so I mean, it's not like it's getting really. It's not like I can go on Big Bad Toy Store and just pre-order the figure. I'd have to get it from like eBay or Locker Toys or someplace overseas, and it's just like I
And
just
I don't think you need to because honestly, the combiners that they're doing now, I've seen a lot of bitching over the years from Transformers fans that aren't satisfied with stuff, but overall, they seem to be pretty satisfied with the three combiners they're doing now. Because yeah, Devastator's done. Bruticus, they're putting more out. Uh,
so they
the
showed
aerial bots, yeah, they're putting out.
aerial bots are out. All the aerial bot stuff is out.
Oh, they're all out. Okay.
Yeah. They showed the previews for Blast Off, which is the space shuttle, and Brawl, which is the tank, and then a like wireframe design for Onslaught, which is the centerpiece. Uh,
Ah.
they still haven't shown Swindle, which is the like Jeep, and and it's one of the legs. Uh, and I haven't seen pre-orders for those. I missed the pre-order for Vortex completely. I just was scrolling through Big Bad Toy Store one day and it's like in stock. I'm like, oh shit, how did I miss that? Well, buy it now because I don't want to miss it.
the the same way. Sorry, the same way. I always say I don't know how the Marvel Legends collectors do it, keeping up because there's so many Marvel Legends releases in any given time.
Yeah.
I really don't know how the Transformers collectors do it because there's always new Transformers coming out,
Yes. Uh,
entire waves, entire exclusive series. They just I do not know how. Yeah, I don't know how the Transformers collectors do it, but that's why I'm picky and choosy. Hey, speaking of really overpriced toys, though, we should mention that Tron HasLab
uh,
that needs 10,000 backers in order to get it. 4 days after it launched, they are at slightly over 900 people backing it. 10,000 seems really far away. Now, I know for HasLabs, a lot of times if they fund, sometimes it takes until the last few days or the last day, or to get all the stretch goals, and it'll take until the last day. But even the ones that aren't doing well usually have a lot more than 900 people. So,
yeah, I think this is the Neutron movie isn't doing very well. I think
no,
this
it's not. It's following the pattern of the Tron Legacy, which didn't do very well.
yeah,
Has a big cult following, but
and that's
didn't do
it.
very well
That's the thing.
financially.
Tron itself is just a cult following. It didn't do well when it came out. It wasn't very the storyline was not very good. The storytelling wasn't very good. The special effects were probably really neat at the time, but I don't remember them being I remember Star Wars being so much better.
Blake and I watched Tron last month, the original. He really liked it. He sat there, he watched the whole damn movie.
I was gonna watch it again, and then I did watch Tron Legacy, and I remember liking it, but not because I watched it when I was overseas.
Yeah,
So
this weekend we're gonna watch Tron Legacy, and then depending on how he feels about that, he might say yes to Tron Ares, or he might just say, nah. But yeah, he liked the first Tron, and he doesn't. He's not put off by old specialty. He's as long as he's enwrapped, as long as he's he's wrapped up in the plot, then he's good, and he liked that movie.
Uh,
So
so the HasLab, it comes with 5 figures that are carded, 2 light cycles, a light effect for each cycle, and a very, I'm going to say, uninteresting display base. All for $250 plus whatever the tariffs and shipping are going to be. So I think somebody said it was just going to be just over $300 for everything. Um,
I saw a comment yesterday or the other day that said they should include a red light cycle for that price, and I agree with that. Why just do the blue and yellow one when you've got the red guys, the gray and red guys in the? Why not? Yeah, give the give the, and I think the price would be more worth it. But
and I quite honestly expected stretch goals with this. There was a figure that was in, not not shown, not announced with this, that was in the original translucent figure line from the 80s, that was just called Hunter, which was the only Tron figure. No, I had 2 Tron figures. I had Sark and I had Hunter, but the Hunter, I absolutely loved that figure as a kid. Um, Even though it was only like 4 points of articulation, it was still a really cool figure. Um, so I was kind of expecting stretch goals, and I figured that, maybe they would do the Hunter, and then they would do maybe like 3 or 4 translucent figures for um the kind of the nostalgia factor. And then because I scrolled down the page, and it looked like they had added something in like the code. So if you look at the HasLab, they wrote some of the details in what looks like computer code, and in some of the code kind of hinted at maybe that there were stretch goals coming, but I haven't seen anything yet. And I don't know. I mean, if you figure that, so the retail price on Star Wars figures just went up to 17.99, I think. So you figure roughly $20 a figure, and maybe 30 for the each light cycle, and 25 or 30 for the display base. I mean, you're getting pretty close to that price range, but it feels like they missed the mark on this one. I like it. I've seen so many negative comments, and just like people just like bashing on this, and like
I
I don't see the point of the hatred on this. Like,
yeah, but we're not the ones that go on. Like, we don't bitch about things for the sake of bitching about things on the internet, anyways.
uh,
There's things that are worth criticizing, but I don't understand the amount of hate that people spew on the internet. But they're just, I mean, Tron is a niche property. It always has been. It will be. This will probably be. I don't think they're really going to have to worry about stretch goals at this point. But the
like
it
the
is weird that there's characters that they just didn't do. And then there's a 6-inch Tron line for Tron Legacy,
Yeah.
but there's only 4 characters, and one of them is Jeff Daniels in his Jedi robe, and one of them is not Quora or the guy that Michael Sheen played in the movie, and both of those seem like serious oversights.
and that,
If they were planning maybe a second wave of Tron figures to get those characters out,
and that
I'll
was
be surprised if the first wave even does well if they're released at all.
and that was one of the big complaints that I saw online, was people were mad that it wasn't 6-inch scale. I am interested to see where Hasbro goes with this particular line in general, because they're calling it 375. So it looks like they might make some sort of push for the 4-inch scale figures in other lines going forward, which suits me just fine because that's my scale of choice. But with this not doing well, I I want to see it do well because that means that they'll do more. Chances are higher that they'll do something that I will want to buy. So I never really want to see these things fail because then they're like, oh, well, this didn't work. Nobody wants it. So we're not going to look at this ever again. And I'm like, well, what would have happened if it had succeeded and you would have gone to something that like I wanted? And it's like, So
I
I
swear to
don't,
God, with the HasLabs, if it's not GI Joe or Transformers, because both of those tend to fund no matter what. Um, Marvel mostly funds, unless you're talking about the Ghost Rider car, which didn't. Um,
I forgot about that.
uh, and the 4 inch, like the vintage collection Star Wars stuff, that goes gangbuster. Those HasLabs always fund. The 6 inch one, like the Rancor, not so much. But uh, I almost think because now they're experimenting with that made to order thing where they're going to put these things up for a pre-order for 30 days and then whoever gets in them they produce it, and then it's like a HasLab without so many bells and whistles and without uh for a smaller price point and without needing the minimum number of backers. And it almost seems to me like maybe this Tron thing would have been better as a made to order thing, but then at the same time it's a lot of money to put into tooling and electronics and shit if nobody
Yeah,
cares.
the light cycles have LEDs in them, so they light up. I don't know if I saw that it had sound effects, but I know that they light up.
See, another yeah, they should have put the red one in there just because red LED lights are cool too.
Well, and I think sound effects would not have gone amiss either.
No, especially because they're all electronic. It would have actually been kind of cool.
Yeah, I think
But
it would probably have been fairly easy to do since they're putting the LEDs in anyway. So yeah, I don't like I said, I don't see the hatred for it. I know a lot of people really want to push for the 6 inch scale stuff, and that's fine, but I I don't really need 6 inch figures. There are some exceptions, but if there's a 4 inch version, I would much rather have a 4 inch version of it just because that's my dogs are going crazy. Hang on a second here. All right, so yeah, apparently we're under attack, and the dogs are repelling the attack. I luckily I don't think you can hear them on the show, so
I didn't hear anything. No.
the computer's really good about filtering them out. It's just really fucking annoying. Um,
Uh,
so yeah, I think the I think it is slightly overpriced. I think it's not. I don't think it's unreasonable, but it just seems like they've missed the mark on this, and I don't know where. I think more figures for the same price probably would have made it worth it, but I don't know.
I think it's a grand experiment just to see what's there.
It
Um,
seems like a lot like they've put a lot on this horse to win the race, and it's an old horse.
yeah, it may not be the starting place that they were looking for. Really. Oh, you know what else they do really well with? Fucking Ghostbusters. Maybe that should have been maybe something like that. Maybe
There's enough
uh
Ghostbuster stuff coming out right now. I mean, they're doing a 1/12 scale line. The 4 inch stuff just came out. They've
that's true.
they've done two or three different versions of the Ecto 1 in 1/18 scale
Yeah,
recently.
that's true. They probably have made just about everything. I mean, really, all they need is a full line from the new movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they did the figures from Ghostbusters 2 that that would matched the 4 pack that came out early last year, I'd be on board with that, but I don't I think it would be really hard for them to do something new that isn't already being made by somebody else.
That's probably true. Um,
Because there's a 6 inch line that's been out for years. They've done like every permutation of the figures from the first two movies from those. Um, I'm not saying I wouldn't back a 4-inch Ghostbusters line. I'm just saying that I don't. It'd be really
You're
hard.
right. Where what do they what would they do with it they haven't already done with it?
That would be worth the price because it's going to be HasLab, so it's going to be expensive. So yeah, I don't disagree that I think Ghostbusters would have done better, but I just don't know what they would have done.
and in sad news, pop culture, huge loss. Um, Drew Struzan, the master painter of so many posters of so many movies that we grew up on, passed away. I know earlier this year I read a post from his wife that said he was suffering. Uh, he couldn't post. He was having trouble. He had dementia. He couldn't post anymore on his own. He wasn't doing well. So um, it's just it sucks. It's a big loss. I've seen a lot of tributes to him because if you think about movies that George Lucas or Spielberg made, just about all of those had Drew Struzan posters for them, and not to mention all the book covers he did, um, all the um, he did he was doing um, he was prolific in the 80s and 90s. Drew Struzan his work was everywhere, and yeah, he's a big loss.
Yeah.
Um, Dementia sucks.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that. My grandfather died from it, and I have
Yeah,
heard,
my grandfather did too. I watched him decline where and it's tough. It's real tough.
and I've heard rumors that my father has it too, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him in almost 20 years, so I don't know.
You're
Uh, the other stuff, the toy news that we were going to talk about was pretty much like GI Joe stuff. Um,
Oh,
because
you yeah. What did you pre-order? Because the pre-orders for that next wave,
yeah.
what went up yesterday.
Oh, I was going to mention also before I forget the Eagle Force 4-inch, some more of the Eagle Force 4-inch stuff went back up for pre-order today.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that's right. You said they're going to re-release some of those, right?
yeah. So like the werewolf one, the one that looks like Major Iron Blood. There's a guy that looks like Agent Shield agent, and I can't remember his name. Uh, the the one that looks like the lizard from Red Shadows. Um,
Kraken.
Kraken. Their version of Kraken went back up for pre-order. So I pre-ordered the Kraken because I wanted one for a custom. Um, so that those went up for pre-order today. They're on Big Bad Toy Store exclusively, which is no surprise. G.I. Joe, let's see. Hang on a second. I'm trying to. So the latest wave was Hit and Run, Stage 2 Cobra Mole Rat, the Night Viper Big Lob, Lifeline. I pre-ordered Hit and Run, a Mole Rat, and a few Night Vipers.
Not really surprised about a few Night Vipers. It is your favorite figure in the vintage line. So okay, 5 years into the classified line. When it's released, it'll be 6 years into it. Was the Night Viper worth the wait?
I don't I don't dislike it, but I think when having that Frag Viper in hand and how they just knocked that out of the park, I think anything else is really hard to um God damn it. Sorry, my hard drive just took a shit on me. I think it's really hard to follow the on the footsteps of how awesome that Frag Viper was. Um,
Well, to be fair, the original Night Viper is amazing, and I don't think they could have followed it. I don't think they could have done anything they did with the classified version. Would have been a nice update. to a figure that didn't need a super great update. The original Frag Viper sucks,
It
which
did.
is why the new Frag Viper seems like such a profound improvement. But I mean, it's on par with the updates that they've given us with the Range Viper, the Alley Viper, the I mean the eel. I mean, pretty decent.
Yeah,
The
so it's to me, it's like upper middle of the road. I mean, it looks like a nice update, and but it's not. It doesn't just like explode
Yeah, you
like
mean
like that Frag Viper did.
yeah. That's funny. It's a grenadier. Of course, it explodes. Um, but I ordered the Night Viper and Big Lob. Um, I've been waiting for the Night Viper too, but not like Brian was. But I remember last year when they announced early this year they made the name only announcement of Crystal Ball, and Brian texted me. He's like, Crystal Ball before the Night Viper? What the fuck? Um,
Yeah.
so well, Night Viper's finally coming out next spring, and I think it's a dynamite update. I like what they did with it. I like that the rifle makes more sense than the original rifle did.
Yeah, I do
But
too. I've seen
I
some
mean,
people complaining about it, but I like the update.
it's a better update of the Night Viper than the modern version was in uh the retaliation line,
I actually
which
like that figure. I bought a
I
bunch of
mean
those figures.
it was a decent figure, but I think this is a better update of the Night Viper than that, and it's certainly a better update than that new scope version was that was
Yeah,
supposed to come out in the
yeah,
DTC line.
yeah, the one that came out in the DTC line was horrible.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Uh,
Um,
I actually like the one that came out in the Retaliation, and it also came out again in the 50th anniversary line.
wasn't there a red repaint of it too, which didn't make any damn sense?
Yeah, I
Um,
always used that as like an officer. I liked the red repaint. I mean, it didn't make a lot of
doesn't
sense.
make any sense. That's what I mean. It's a fine repaint that makes zero sense.
I mean, so my like mind canon for that was that it was like active camouflage, and that's what the figure looks like, what the character looks like with the active camouflage off.
Uh, um,
That's they're like it doesn't matter what color it is when the active camouflage is off because it's always going to be on in the field. So that was my thing is that it would just be like Predator basically. It would have an active camouflage system that would LEDs or whatever to make it invisible, completely invisible. Um, so it didn't matter what color it was, and only the officers had the active camouflage. So that's
ooh, I like that.
yeah. So that was like my like rationale why there's a bright red alley viper or a night viper is that it's a number one, it's an officer, number two, it's active camouflage with the camouflage off.
Reasonable. So yeah, I really like the new Night Viper. I had to get Big Lob. He's a must own for me. A hit and run is. It turns out hit and run is a much better figure than what we saw in the render,
Yeah.
but there's still something missing. There's something weird about it. I don't. It doesn't. Every time I look at a photo of it, no matter what pose they put him in, or even the dioramas, I'm like, I don't know why, but that figure just does not strike my fancy, and I cannot. I look at it, I'm like, there's no good reason why. I'm not put off by any of it. I don't know. I don't.
That was my feeling on the Lifeline because I'm sure people are going to ask me if, as a paramedic, if I pre-ordered Lifeline, and I did not. I was when we had Tony on the show because Tony's an EMT. We had expected to see kind of a more modern version, modern update with like realistic gear, so like a jump bag and like a like a realistic cardiac monitor and you know EMS like real EMS equipment similar to what came out in the 50th anniversary line and none of that.
It's not that. It's not. It's the vintage figure, but bumped up the scale. The
And
the
I
backpack.
commented on that on some place, and somebody had replied to my comment with something that I really thought was a good idea. Is they're like they should have updated everything for the main line and then done this particular version on a retro card. I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
You know, I'm kind of wondering about the retro line. The last ones we got were Flint, CoverGirl, and the Televiper. They haven't announced anything else for the retro line. They've got a rash of figures from 1986 that are getting updated for the classified line, but they're very vintagey in feel. Sci-fi, Lifeline, Wetsuit, um,
Mainframe.
Mainframe. They're all updates. They're all improvements over the 1986 versions in in most ways, but they're still very vintagey. There's not a lot of classifiedness about it. I'm actually wondering if the retro line is not going to be ongoing, and that is why they're doing retro line stuff because the retro line always had limited slots. They were never going to do more than three figures in a wave, or they never have done more than three figures in a wave. They and I don't. They haven't mentioned like they did the name only reveals, but they didn't say any of them were on the retro line. There were no new retro cards at the. I'm actually wondering if the retro line is just getting rolled into the classified line, and that for truly classified updates or repaints, we're going to end up with them down the road because yeah, I don't. They haven't mentioned it, so I'm kind of wondering if the retro line is going to yeah just get absorbed into classified, and they're going to do some more faithful updates to the originals. I mean, frankly, I think they all look decent. I'm still going to hold out. I will order Lifeline when he's not bright red. Um,
I'll probably
and
get one at some point in time, but I'm not paying full price for it.
yeah, I didn't like the original Lifeline when I was a kid. Sunbow fucking ruined the character for me. I didn't like the figure when I was a kid. There was a 1991 Malaway version of Lifeline with Frostbite's legs to get rid of the firearm in the holster.
Yeah, the Kellogg
But
version.
yeah, the Kellogg's Lifeline, I didn't order it because, again, I didn't like Lifeline. I had the 30th anniversary version, but I bought it for the head sculpt and the gear. I customized it because I don't care.
I
And I'm not buying this one. I will buy it if and when they do either a Tiger Force version or some other repaint. But I don't. I don't need it. I don't care.
yeah, I was like I said, I was paramedic. I'm disappointed that they, especially after the 30th version, the pursuit actually was it. I think it was Pursuit of Cobra. Um, we
It was 30th. It came out in the same wave as the Techno Viper and Law,
okay, yeah.
and Airtight.
So
I
that's
I really feel like I really feel like they should have done better with the gear because the backpack is accurate to the vintage backpack. It's got the little detailed paint and shit with the readouts, and he's got like an electronic thing on the belt that matches the readout on the backpack. So I'm gonna guess it's like a handheld version of whatever. But there's no there's no separate accessories inside the case. They're not painted accessories inside the case. It's just the I don't really think those accessories that they included. I don't I don't think they're adequate updates. The 30th Lifeline came with a well, people called it a stretcher, but it's what a backboard. Is that
so
what they?
it's a long. It's called a long spine board. I
And
kind of, I'm kind of amused, um, that they didn't issue it with this particular figure because, as EMS, we are phasing out long spine boards and have been for a long time.
ah
Uh, so it's not actually a piece of equipment we use.
okay, I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's not a piece of equipment that we use much at all anymore, if at all, because it's been shown to do more harm than good.
Ooh,
Um,
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm actually glad that they didn't include it. It's cool to have that piece of equipment in toy scale in some fashion, just because it's like, hey, I've worked with this piece of equipment every day for the last 30 years. It's, it's cool to see this in toy form, and they did a really good job of it in the 30th anniversary figure. So I mean, it was really cool to see that, and that's what I was hoping for with this version of Lifeline is equipment that I'm familiar with, a
Like,
jump bag,
yeah, like a jump bag. That would have been awesome.
cardiac monitor, um, a ventilator, I don't know, just EMS, a drug box, um,
But
something.
there's just none of that. It's all just 1986 equipment upgraded.
Yeah, which
All
which is fine. I don't, like I said, I don't hate the figure. It's just,
right for the traditionalists who love that version of Lifeline, and that's what they want to see. Awesome. I'm very happy for you. Lifeline's never been on my wish list. I don't. There's no way the Battle Core version's ever going to get a classified, but I would love that. I love that redesign of him. But then I never saw this Lifeline, so Sunbow destroyed that character for
and
me.
we had talked about how the bright red is a weird color for a paramedic, and then it's like, my flight suit when I was a flight paramedic was bright fucking red. There's they If they were going to update it, they should have given him a helmet, a flight helmet, and then everything would have made perfect sense then. So
Instead, you've got a battlefield medic that's bright red.
yeah,
Um,
I used to work with a guy in Afghanistan. He was a firefighter, so everything he wore was bright red, and I would not fucking walk next to that guy because I mean he's just fucking sniper bait. I mean it's not.
yeah, exactly. He's wearing shoot me red.
He was,
Um,
and because he was a firefighter and he's proud of the fact, and he's like, well, I got to wear high vis stuff because I'm a firefighter. God damn it! And I'm like, you're gonna get shot, and I don't want to be next to you if they miss. I refuse to walk next to that guy anytime. And luckily, he didn't last very long. He got transferred out, and I think he
I
was.
was gonna say, wait, you should probably
Yeah.
specify if the sniper got him.
I don't think
No, they just
um I don't think so, but yeah, he
nah.
did. He didn't. I think his ego got the better of him, and they sent him home at one point in time. So
So, but I mean, like it's a fine figure. I don't need it. I'm glad I'm not a completist. This shit's expensive. I don't mind the price hike so much. They're going up to 28 versus 25. It's expected. Prices on everything are going up. So I'm not really surprised. But it's, if nothing else, will just make me even choosier than I already was. But
yes,
um I that is kind of the reason why I'm wondering about the retro line. Maybe they don't want, maybe if they are in fact phasing out the retro line, I think it's because they probably want to maintain this one line that's really successful. And they, I will say this, the retro line, I understand what they're doing with it, but those are the only figures that I consistently see at my local stores. It's rare when I see, uh, no, I see those and I see like the firefighter and the whatever that the legacy line.
the
I
legacy.
see those and I see the retro figures, but at the stores here, I very rarely see the rest of the classified line. GameStop is more prone to getting them than Walmart or Target is. They almost don't get them. So if nothing else, if the retro line goes away, I'm like, well, either they're going to stock nothing or they'll go back to actually having classified figures. But
Yeah, who can say? I don't know. I don't do a lot of in-person toy shopping anymore just because the Walmarts here have pretty much stopped carrying GI Joe completely. They don't even have the retro figures or the legacy line. Um, and
you're
that's
still shocked you found Crystal Ball at that one.
I there's a Walmart up in the small town that I work in. And I stopped in and they had the new display up and they had everything. I mean, they had the Quick Kick Night Force pack, they had Law and Order pack, they had the War Machine Omega Red pack. They had Crystal Ball. They had the Legacy line. So they had a bunch of firefighters. Um, and I go in once a shift and just see if it's because I'm looking for the uh the Ghost Viper because I was able to get a pre-order in, and I got my Desert Scorpion figure in, and I had to make a deal with the wife that if I got a second Ghost Viper, that she could have the translucent wolf and translucent snake if she left my Scorpion alone.
Where my firstborn child adopted my scorpion after because I showed it to the kid and because the kid liked big bugs and so I wasn't really in retrospect I should not have been surprised that it got rehomed out from under me, but
Yeah,
I just I really just didn't think that one through.
and that was a cautionary tale for me because JD and my wife and I had been texting back and forth, and she's like, "Ooh, there's a giant scorpion in the house." I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no." I'm like, "Number one, JD is the one that has this figure right now."
I
Uh,
got it from Amazon.
yeah, I pre-ordered mine from Big Bad Toy Store, or no, I pre-ordered mine from Hasbro. I pre-ordered mine from Pulse. So I'm like, "No, mine isn't here yet, and when it is, you are not getting my scorpion." Um, because I've lost several things to I had to buy her a pack of the Skilladrones because when I got um my Robo Skull, she's like she wanted the Skilladrones, so I had to get her a pack of those. JD made some penguins to go with a custom project those got adopted by her. Uh,
Yep.
I've lost.
Yeah, and then she sent a picture of her animal collection on her desk. It's like her own rescue animal wildlife refuge on her desk. She said people that go in her office, they notice sometimes and they ask. So, yeah, apparently, yeah, if
Just imagine, let's just say, imagine the Lion King on, or the what was that reality show with the lion? Oh, the shit. Nah, I can't remember. The the really weird one that was on a couple of years ago. Not the Lion King. Was it the Lion
oh that what's his name the
Tiger?
Netflix show
Yes.
Joe Tiger whatever the fuck his name
Yeah.
is. That
Anyway,
I never watched it. I was aware of it
it was
because of
hilarious.
Facebook, and I decided I'm never gonna watch it. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's that.
it was hilarious. So imagine that on meth, and then that's what my wife's desk looks like because she's got all these animals from all these different lines that have gone missing in my collection. Um, so yeah, I had to make that arrangement. And so I go and I check and I see posts for people where they are at their Walmart and they've got like 50 of those ghost vipers just sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, I saw that. There was a photo that Full Force posted, and yeah, there were cases and cases of those sitting. I'm like, I'll be lucky if I see. I have one pre-ordered, but if I happen to see one at the store, I'll just get that one instead. But I mean, they're due in a couple of weeks from Walmart's website, so
Yeah.
chances are we'll get them just fine. But I will probably never see one in the store. My Walmart finally got that new toy display a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
like only a month or so fucking late, and all they had was Law and the Quick Hick Night Force set for Joe's. Oh, and a bunch of those firefighters.
Yeah.
So, but that's yeah, no yeah, that's about it. But I mean maybe the Ghost Viper will show up, maybe not. I need it either way. So
So do I. I any specialty Viper, and this one fits in so well with the like Monster Force stuff anyway that it's like I want a couple of them.
yeah, I I think yeah, I think it when when they do new stuff, new characters, new concepts, if they keep doing them as well as like that mole rat is
Just
and
to mention,
the ghost viper is, then they don't. Then they should keep adding new troopers and that type of stuff. That stuff, I don't need the mole rat, but I love that it exists, and I'm fucking impressed by it.
yeah, no, I absolutely love it. It's obviously it's a Cobra figure. I love the fact that there's a Transformers crossover component to it because it's infected with dark energon. The figure looks. JD had said that he had seen somewhere that it might glow in the dark.
Yeah, I read some speculation that because if you look at the pictures, it's got some sort of reactive plastic. Maybe it's reactive color plastic. I don't know, but
It's
it definitely
definitely
looks like it definitely looks like it shines or lights up. Yeah, or glows in the dark. I mean,
it definitely looks black light reactive, and I do have a black light flashlight. So the second I get it, it's I am going to see if it is black light reactive. I mean, the color scheme does look light reactive, so I will be interested to see that. Um, I like the fact that it's a continuation of a new character. So it's like we made this character last year. Now we're expanding on it. I like the fact that it's like stage two, which kind of hints that there might be a stage three, which would be like if they could do a skeleton in a like torn lab suit that's infected by dark energon. I think that would be an awesome stage.
that would be awesome. Yes.
Or I think it was Tony that had a really good idea of what a stage three mole rat could look like. And I don't remember what his suggestion was, but I liked that as well. Um, so I'm curious to see where they go with it. And I absolutely love the fact that they're putting new characters into the line because at some point in time you are going to run out of figures to make.
Well, and the fact is, I love obscure Joes. In my opinion, my attitude is there's no such thing as a Joe too obscure, and every character is somebody's favorite. But some of these characters do not need classified updates. Some of these characters would be better if just gave us new characters instead.
Yeah. And of course, any Cobra specialty Viper, I'm going to be all over that as well. So, even though I mean, technically is not a Viper, it's a specialty Cobra, which is good enough for me. So I definitely am going to get just one. Probably if I can get a second one for not retail price, I probably will. Because of the interchangeable heads, but it won't be a priority by any stretch of the imagination.
It is a very cool looking figure, especially the head with most that's almost all covered with the energon except for the one. It looks like the dude has just a skull. I don't. It looks cool as hell. I kind of wish that I did have a use for it, or I kind of wish that it did grab me so that I. But eh. It's really cool though. I want to see them keep making pump out new stuff. Give us some more new Joes. We've gotten a few. Give us some more new Joes. Give us new Cobras. Come up with a whole new faction if you want to.
And just to kind of prove that I think people are at least watching and listening to our show, because I saw Super 7 hint that they're going to do a Mira figure
Good, because
in the
that would
react.
be awesome if we
Yeah.
finally got an official figure of her.
So in case you missed it, that was our last customizing challenge where we did the in person. That was one of the figures I made for JD was Mira.
Yeah, because I'm a fanatic over the Sunbow cartoon, and I love the exclusive characters. In fact, each one of those challenges, all three of them, you did a Sunbow based figure for me. But
I did.
I I love the Sunbow cartoon.
I
I've been
did.
watching episodes because it's on Amazon. I mean, you got to buy, but a lot of the post Arise Serpentor Arise episodes of that season some of them I'm watching through and I'm like, I don't even fucking remember this episode. So some of them I feel like I'm watching for the first time, or at least the first time since I was 7 years old.
I don't remember what the so I did what Mainframe and Zarana's daughter would be, but I don't remember what
yeah.
the other figure was then.
It was
Oh,
Cadet Deming.
Cadet Deming. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Um, so I mean, if nothing else, even if Hasbro doesn't make those characters, if Super Seven is giving us a Reaction Plus version of Mara, that's really cool because some of those characters got the 5 POA reaction figures, but she wasn't one of them. So she would be entirely new for a figure, and she's never gotten a figure before. Not from the club, not from there's never been an official release of her. So that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'll be on that one for sure. The other one that I saw was Snake Eyes with the canister. So I'm expecting maybe some translucent parts with
I
that,
was gonna say I'm pretty sure it'll be translucent.
which would be okay as well.
It's Cobra Commander with the black cape from GI Joe the movie. It's
Yeah,
another fucking Cobra Commander. I don't care.
and then I think Arctic Scarlet was the fourth one.
Yeah, then that would be new. That would be actually wait, I think that would be the first cold weather female figure that we've actually gotten a toy of. Because we never got a winter Baroness, I don't think. We got
No,
a trench coat Baroness from the Rise of Cobra line from the Paris Pursuit, but we never got a winter coat figure. And I don't
uh,
not that I can remember.
and it'll come out before the HasLab, which would have the Winter Lady J figure.
Ah, all right. So Winter Scarlet from Super 7 Reaction Plus
Yeah.
might be setting a new standard.
Yeah,
So
so it wouldn't be the first one announced, but it would be the probably the first one in production.
released, yeah. And it would be really cool because this would be another Scarlet with the ponytail, which they they don't we don't always get figures for like that. So especially not O-ring figures. So
I will be on the fence about it until I see it because them sculpting the long coats to the legs just annoys the fuck out of me. That's the one reason I did buy the Pro is because the coat wasn't sculpted to the legs. I would have bought that Arctic Cobra Commander, but the coat sculpted to the legs. They already have done waist pieces for coats on figures. I mean, this is not new technology. I absolutely detest the the coats to the legs.
you know
It
what?
bugs.
I wouldn't
Okay.
mind. I don't think I would mind the bottom of the coat being sculpted to the legs if the coat didn't fall so far down. What they're doing is they're making it accurate to the animation model, where the bottom of the coat did tend to go down to the mid the mid thigh, which is like that for most of those characters. But if they had sacrificed the accuracy of it and just done like the top of the legs with the sculpting, I would not have minded that. But
That's
it is distracting as hell the way they did it.
that's still what it bothered me, them sculpting it to the legs when a waist piece has been something that they have done on GI Joe figures for a very long time.
All the way back to fucking Snow Job in 1983.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think accuracy should come at the cost of aesthetics, and I think aesthetically they're tough to look at. At least the Cobra Commander and whatever else they put out like that. Snake Eyes is going to have the same problem though, because it's the same head as the Sunbow version of Snake Eyes that they put out a couple of months ago, but it's got the winter coat on, and it's got the stupid coat over the legs thing.
So yeah, I will definitely pick up the Mira figure, and then Scarlet will depend on whether or not she has her coat sculpted to her legs. If they've remedied that situation, I probably will pick up the Scarlet too, but
Yeah.
uh, I
And
I don't need another Cobra Commander figure, and I don't need another Snake Eyes figure.
I do need this coat
I,
Destro, and I do need Big Lob,
I
and I
did
do need Pythona, but
I did get
I do
Destro.
not need them right now.
I did get the Destro figure. I have it in hand. It came in the big pile. It's nice. I like it. I also
Go get it.
okay. I also pre-ordered Pythona, but I did that through Big Bad Toy Store, and it hasn't
Ah,
come in yet. So,
okay.
and I'm not shipping my pile of loot again for another probably till closer till the end of the year. So yeah, let me go get the Destro real quick.
All right. I didn't order any of those yet. I want to see it up close. I mean, I've seen some good pictures online, but I haven't seen a video of it. I'm just talking to the camera while you're gone.
Yeah, no, I heard. So there is the Destro.
That is fucking phenomenal looking. I love it.
Yeah, no, I think they did a good job. I don't like
They,
gun. Um, it's
it's a Sunbow accurate. It's a Sunbow accurate pistol.
yeah, which is fine, but I was thinking
You wish he had a Destro gun.
I'll probably get on eBay and at least get an accessory pack version of
Yeah,
the Destro gun and just repaint it. And he's gonna sit on the shelf anyway. Nobody's gonna notice, and I'll just put that pistol in the fuck it bucket. And
that
it,
that Destro, that is glorious.
yeah,
That is it is not a figure that I ever expected, but as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that is that is one of the coolest fucking versions of Destro I think I've seen.
yeah,
Because he looked great in the cartoon like that, but to actually get a figure of that,
yeah,
it's stellar.
yeah. No, I had to get that one. I saw that. I'm like, oh man, that is nice. So yeah, I got that. I got the Pythona. I just as much as I like the GI Joe movie, Big Lob never did anything for me. I never felt incomplete because I didn't have a figure of him when I was a kid. I never bought any version of him when he came out. I didn't have the club version or the figure subscription version of him.
I had
I
I
just
had the modern version of Big Lob that the club did. I missed out on the membership figure for 2006. And if you check it out on eBay now, that figure goes for no less than $200.
yeah,
I do have the modern Big Lob, but eh, he was a brand new head, but the rest of it was kind of a repaint, not a great repaint. This one's all new because and taller
yeah,
than the other figures as it should be. The classified version is all new and will stand 7 inches tall, so it's taller than everybody else.
yes,
But uh, yeah, it's but two big lob figures in the span of 2 years. One
1 year.
one accurate to Sunbow in the O-ring style, and then a classified version next year. 7-year-old me would have loved that because yeah, he was created for the movie, and it bugged the shit out of me that we never got a figure of him. So
And I love the characterization. I thought he was a great character in the movie, but
it's talking in the sport in
yes,
the play-by-play commentary.
I
I
absolutely
think that was my favorite part of his gimmick. I love that.
yes. Yeah, no, I absolutely loved it, but the
Don't
fact
need a figure of it.
I didn't need a figure of it.
That's true because you're pickier with Joe's
Yeah.
than you. Yeah, you buy for every four Cobras you buy, you probably buy one, maybe two, Joe.
Probably,
So
probably, I would say it's probably higher. The ratio is higher than that.
you're
For
right. It probably is because I think you've got Tunnel Rat, right? But you don't. You skip Law, you skip Jinx. Oh wait, you do have Outback, right?
I do. I have both Outbacks because the Tiger Force Outback. Wait, what scale?
I mean the well, all the scales really. I meant the classified versions.
I have
But
I have both versions of the Outback. Outback was a favorite of mine as a kid. He was always one like I've mentioned several times on the show that I had like a core group of guys that were always on on missions, always got played with. Outback was one of those guys for sure. I have, and I absolutely love the Tiger Force version. You will never hear me say that about anything Tiger Force
I
ever.
like Tiger Force, but Tiger Force Outback is one of those that we didn't know existed when we were a kid. We didn't find out about it until we had the internet. And it was one of those early foreign figures that everybody collectively latched onto, like, holy shit, I want one of those. Because it was so different from the first Outback and so different from just about anything we had in the line. It was it was amazing when Hasbro decided, for classified, we're gonna do Outback, but we're gonna start with the Tiger Force version and then give the other. And so I bought the Tiger Force version. I don't have the first version, the first classified version, but I have an original Outback. He's fucking phenomenal. Absolutely none of the updates that they did after the first sculpt did much of anything. Look, I like the Eco Warrior figure, but I am a different kind of nerd. And I still prefer the original Outback. All of the updates after that sucked. Um,
I,
Info classified, and but you're real picky with Joe's. Like yeah, you only buy maybe. In fact, you're buying more. Like you got like sci-fi wetsuit. Like you actually got most of those, right?
I did not get mainframe, but I did get wetsuit. Wetsuit's a Navy SEAL. I mean, I'm
Well,
never
of course,
a
yeah,
Navy SEAL.
of
Um,
course.
it's a Navy
Um,
SEAL named Brian. I'm not going to pass up a Navy SEAL named Brian.
that's true. That's
Uh,
true.
I did get sci-fi. Sci-fi was a favorite of mine as a kid. I absolutely loved the 30th anniversary version of him. I've used that figure numerous times in customs. Um, but as far as Outback, I have both classified versions. I'm super surprised they have not done a Night Force version as heavy as they've gone on Night Force. And I absolutely love that version of um, Outback, the Night Force version. So if if and when, I'm assuming it's just a matter of time.
It's when, yeah, they'll bring one out eventually.
I will get the Night Force version of Outback. I've pre-ordered the Hyatt Toys Outback. I have a black Major version of the Tiger Force 3 3/4 inch figure.
Uh, I have an original one that I got on eBay probably 20 years ago. And that's the only reason I have it. I
Uh,
have a Tiger Force Hit and Run. I have a Tiger Force Shipwreck and a
yeah.
Tiger Force Outback. Those are the only international Tiger Force figures I
Uh,
own.
do have a vintage one, although he doesn't have the flashlight. I don't have the flashlight for my vintage one. And then I have there was one that came with the flak cannon in the
Oh, that's right. Yeah, in the 25th line. Yeah. He
uh
did have that cool vest.
I do have that one. And I there's another version of him that I have. I want to say it's the DTC version, but I'm not 100%.
Oh, yeah. He uses the major barrage body and the new head sculpt. So he looks a lot like Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump when when he shows up at the boat to try out his sea legs. That is what that version of Outback always looked like to me, and I couldn't take it seriously. Um,
So
but
I do have several versions of Outback at any point.
so of course you got the classified, but yeah, you got Tunnel Rat, and I think that's because I remember I texted you after I found Law, and I'm like, I just can't get excited. You're like, neither can I. I can't get excited about that Law. I don't know why. It's a great figure.
Oh yeah, I
Its
think
order is phenomenal.
yeah.
I just and I like the character,
Yeah, oh, I love
especially
the
the
character.
way he was portrayed in GI Joe the movie.
Yes,
I love the character.
I had to
I
play that clip for my wife. I mean, that's how much I love that. I'm like, you got to
the hey, Law and Order's a team, man. He finds the bombs. They drive the car. We tried it the other way, didn't work.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too, but I just
I
I
can't get excited about the classified version.
No, I didn't have the original as a kid. I did have the 30th anniversary version. I customized it. I got another one, customized that. Um, so I don't think I'm pretty sure I don't have one in my collection. Um,
Did did you see GI Joe the movie when you were a kid, or did you see it later?
no, I saw it when I was a kid.
Because I remember watching it. I remember it came on Saturday morning randomly at the same time GI Joe was supposed to come on, and the new logo, the Sunbow logo, showed up, and then they played that theme song. And from then on, I've been enchanted with GI Joe the movie like nothing else. And but I remember I went over. My friend didn't watch it, and he lived in the apartment behind us. So I went over afterwards, and I distinctly remember telling him all about how so many of the new 1987 Joes were in the movie, and specifically complaining they needed a survivalist. Outback should have been in the movie.
I remember watching it as a kid because I grew up in the 80s, and the second Lieutenant Falcon opened his mouth, I'm like, holy shit, that's Sonny Crockett. They got Sonny Crockett in the G.I. Joe movie. Holy shit. That's amazing. So, I thought that because every once in a while I would be allowed to stay up and watch Miami Vice because it was kind of adult themed at that point in time, and it came on Friday nights, and every once in a while my dad will let me stay up and watch Miami Vice.
I've
Uh,
never watched it. I'm
uh,
aware of it from pop culture. I never watched it.
I I what's really there's a all you need to see to really watch Miami Vice is there is a cameo compilation. Um, find the cameo compilation, and that's
Is
all.
that one of those shows that everybody wanted to appear on?
I mean, Phil Collins was on there. One of the Eagles was on there.
Whoa.
Yeah, Don. I think it was Don Henley was on there.
Wow.
The like serious star power in the cameos is just insane. That's it's it's a like a 2-minute video. That's all you need to see if you're not a huge Miami
Sounds to
Vice fan.
me it's a lot like Friends was in the 90s, Love Boat was early in the 80s, where everybody appeared on 60s Batman TV series.
Yes.
Everybody appeared on there from television and movies.
This blows both of those away.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will look this up because now I am curious. And I imagine watching all those little cameos, there's going to be some very young faces of a lot of actors that I didn't know until they were much older.
Yeah. Yeah, like music stars, because I mean, this was one of the first, I think it might have been the first TV show that had licensed music that was popular, like charting on.
Oh, like that's on the radio right now and
Yeah.
it's in the TV show right now. Well, you're right. That doesn't happen very often on television.
It didn't, I'm pretty sure it was the first one, and I don't know that it's ever happened since.
Wow. Yeah, because a lot of times you you find DVDs and stuff will have different music than when it originally aired because of licensing rights.
Yeah.
But at the time, so you're saying like Miami Vice is one of those where that music was integral to the show
Yeah.
and pulling it out would just wreck it.
I think yeah, probably, but it's definitely it was ahead of its time. It was quintessential 80s, and but like I said, all you need to really get if you don't want to watch all however many seasons of it, find the cameo compilation uh thing on YouTube and watch,
I'm gonna find it after this. So
and that's all you need to see, quite honestly. I was actually a fan of the movie that came out 2009-ish, maybe.
I didn't see it either.
Oh, I absolutely loved that movie. I loved that and the 18 movie that they did, and would have killed for a sequel, both of those, but they both did poorly in the theater and never got a sequel, either one of them. But it was Colin Farrell was Sonny Crockett, and I thought he did a fantastic job. And that was one of the things about Miami Vice was the music and the cinematography was amazing, and they captured that in the movie. So that's one of the things that I really liked was the fact that they did such a good job with the cinematography in the 2000 in the
That's cool.
yeah. So I yeah. But yeah, that's all you need to see that. But that's yeah, I did see the GI Joe movie in the theater. Or and I don't remember
It was
where.
on, yeah, it wasn't theatrical released. It was supposed to be,
Yeah.
but then Transformers the movie killed that.
Yeah.
So,
I did
um,
see that. I did go see Transformers the movie in the theater. So yeah, I saw GI Joe the movie on TV. And yeah, the second they Falcon opened his mouth, I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking Sonny Crockett. So
and
yeah.
see, when I saw it, I didn't know the voice. I didn't know any of the voices. I mean, I was 7, but it was years later that I was watching something, and because I always loved the voice work that Globulus had, but it was years later that I was watching something, and I realized that whatever I was watching had Burgess Meredith in it,
That's
and that was Globulus's voice, and then I'm like, I was mind blown. I think I was like 11, and I don't know what show. Oh, I was watching the original '60s Batman, and I realized that the name in the credits, Burgess Meredith, was in the credits for GI Joe the movie because I watched it on TV. I had the VHS tape. I wore that VHS tape out. I think I watched it hundreds of times. So I think I was about 11 when I saw the credits for Batman said Burgess Meredith, and I was like, what? And then I could hear it in the voice, but
I recognized it that I recognized that immediately as well because I had first heard Don Johnson's voice and I'm like, holy shit. And then I heard Globulus speak. I'm like, man, they went all out on this. Cause then
yeah, yeah,
Chris shows up and it's like, whoa, what the hell, man? This is
yeah.
awesome.
They really, yeah, they really they struck gold with the voice cast in that movie.
Yeah. They didn't replace any of the original voice actors for the original characters that were on the cartoon. So they all had the same original voice. So I mean, there wasn't anything else like that except the Transformers movie, which, they killed all your favorite Transformers in the first 5 minutes. And you're like, okay, this sucks.
and then they made toys of it.
Yeah.
I remember earlier this year at Target seeing a set with Dead Ratchet and Dead Brawn, and I'm
Oh,
like,
see that. I
damn.
know that.
Yeah, like laser holes in there. I'm like, damn, that's dark. That
I
is
I
dark.
I missed that. I didn't see that.
I laughed about it. Blake wondered what I was laughing about it, and I showed him. He doesn't care about Transformers. He doesn't watch it. But I told AJ about it when we got home, and AJ laughed hysterically that I had found a set of toys with 10 Transformers because they them and I had just watched Transformers the movie a couple months ago, and they were all about it. So my kids are very different from each other, but they have a lot in common with me.
Yes,
Um,
that is for sure. So, I don't think we had any other like
oh, I don't think so either.
big announcements that we wanted to go over. They didn't really announce much in the way of Star Wars stuff, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, very. Yeah, very. That was limited.
We talked about the HasLab, so I'm curious to see where they go with that. I don't see that succeeding, but I don't know. I've been wrong every time on that. Because I thought the class of I thought the Sky Striker would fully fund, and it did not. And I did not think that the Snowcat would fund and let alone fully fund it. It did.
I
So
was I was happy when they got to Lady J because I'm like, all right, I'll buy her off the secondary market by herself.
Yeah.
But then I was really surprised when the other two, when Flint and what was the other figure? Or was or
It was the bivouac set.
oh, that's right. No, yeah, that's right. It was the camping set.
Yeah. Which
That weird choice.
I like the homage to the original bivouac, but I mean I didn't have that particular piece as a kid, so I have no like no
I didn't know that place had existed till I had the internet, and even then, I forgot about it. I didn't have it. It's meh.
yeah, and so I think that seems like that we were going to talk about some of the Marvel Legends stuffs, but I can't find any of the announcements that I wanted to. I was going to see if I could find the because I don't know that the pre-orders are up yet either for those figures. Oh, yeah, I guess they are. So there's a Werewolf by Night, a new Iron Man
Ah,
armor, the Mark 72, which of course I ordered. The World War II Logan, which looks nice. The new Crystar figure Warbow. I did end up getting a Crystar off of eBay for super cheap, so I did pre-order the Warbow. An Enchantress figure, and then the Dark Avengers Spider-Man with the like six arms, and then the Phantom like cowboy style Ghost Rider figure.
he is all white, and I hope that in 10 years he's not half yellow and half white.
So it's a build-a-figure set. The build-a-figure is Executioner, which
The
I
X-Men character with
no,
the with
no, no. Thor.
ah oh
Yeah.
oh okay oh wow okay
Yeah. What's the I fuck my brain just farted. What's the actor?
Carl Urban
Thank you. Carl Urban Executioner.
when he had the M16s. He's like, oh, Tex ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he. Oh, I didn't realize that there was a build a fig. I didn't look that closely at those. I did pre-order Wolverine
As did I.
because that's a
Wolverine and
World War II Wolverine is a must-have for me. Wait, there was another one that you mentioned that I want.
the
Werewolf by Night, maybe. I might pre-order that.
I pre-ordered
Um,
Iron Man obviously, and then I pre-ordered the
of
Wolverine. I
course.
pre-ordered the
This is finally another Iron Man that is obviously different. I hate when they come out with too many in a row that it's subtle. I don't know this version of Iron Man from the comics, but I like the color scheme. It's cool.
the color scheme's cool. I don't know that it's a new mold. Again, I'm still just annoyed that there are so many different Iron Man versions that would require a new mold that have not been made from comics as far as the 60s and the 70s that
Hasbro, we need a deep sea Iron Man.
and 80s because that came the
Yeah,
Deep Sea armor came out in the 80s and the space armor I think that one may have come out early 80s. I don't know.
but yeah, those need new and they need new tooling, and they should spend that money. You cowards.
And there's there's just so many cool versions of the Iron Man armors that have not been made. And I can't think of the mini series that I put you onto that's like my favorite.
Um,
And I might just be
Armor Wars.
no.
Wait. Um. Oh, the one with the Cape Killer unit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck, that's gonna
Velocity? No.
yeah, hyper velocity.
Hyper. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was fucking excellent.
Yeah, I that if you want to it's a six-issue miniseries. If you want something that is absolutely fun to read, has beautiful art and a fantastic storyline, the Hyper Iron Man Hypervelocity is the series for.
I highly recommend it. The art's great. The story's great. It's readable and it's funny as shit.
Yes,
And
and it just like highlights how advanced the Iron Man armor really is, because most of the time it's a sentient version of an AI that's imprinted on Tony Stark. So um, it's like I said, it's fantastic. Go look it up. You probably can get the trade paperback off of Amazon fairly cheap.
Mm, yes.
I have the original issues in my collection, needless to say. But I think the Marvel Legends stuff was the only other stuff that I wanted to mention. Like I said, we didn't see a lot of new Star Wars announcements, which kind of surprised me. We talked about the Transformer stuff a little bit. Um,
I was kind of shocked with how little Star Wars there was. There were a few vintage things, a few Black Series things, but
yeah,
not a big rollout there. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah, which is kind of it does seem unusual for Hasbro. So maybe they've got something planned for early next year. I don't know. But those were the big announcements from New York Comic Con. I don't know if we'll see anything else the rest like any big announcements the rest of the year. I don't think there's any major conventions still forthcoming where they would do that.
I don't think so either. I think we usually get a lull until
First,
the new year. Yeah, a lull for not a lull for releases, but a lull for news and announcements.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, I think that was about it for this particular episode. So hopefully you enjoyed the kind of recap of New York Comic Con announcements. Our hot take on those, and then of course our customizing challenge reveal. Again, as always, we are very interested in having members of the community join us on customizing challenges. So if if you happen to see this episode and you're like, hey, I still want to do figures for that, absolutely go ahead and do figures
Go
for that.
for it. We put a deadline for us to present it, but I would still love to see if you're listening to this 5 years from now and we're still doing this show. Well,
We would,
wow, that would mean the world didn't end.
yeah,
But
that's the
then
only.
we then that would be awesome. I'd love to see it in the future too.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And I'm not opposed to having that particular customizer on the show to do the reveal. So I mean, if you
and
wanted
I
to,
love having customizers on the show. So,
absolutely, we would love to have you on the show to do the reveal. Um, if you have ideas that you would like to see us do in customizing challenges, throw those in the comments. I think JD and I probably will both do a an old man Major Blood custom.
yeah,
Um, we'll probably maybe set the timeline for that at maybe like first of the year after or shortly thereafter, just due to holidays. Um, so, sometime in January, I think is a good time because if we don't set deadlines, neither one of us will get it done. Or
yeah.
or I'll do it tomorrow and then put it somewhere and forget where it is. Obviously, since I've lost the file, my card backs for these guys, because I had fully intended to put these guys on cards today and hang them on the wall. Now I have no idea where the cards are. So
You're gonna find those card backs. Either you're gonna find them half an hour after we finish this episode, or this weekend. Because
I'll work in
you
this.
will find them when you are no longer looking for them.
Yeah, that is probably what will happen. Um, so always interested to hear what people think of the new toy announcements. Was there stuff that you saw announced that you just can't live without? Especially some of the more hot button figures, like hot top, figures that like have divided comment sections. I'm always interested to hear what people have to say about that as long as they can be respectful. So,
Yeah, you know what? I say be diplomatic with your criticisms and I'll read it all day.
yeah,
If it's a long string of everything sucks, well, I know that, but nuance.
yeah.
Just give me your reasoning. So,
And then as always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, and thanks for watching.
thanks, everybody.